I try to encourage people to, if possible, not treat the family home with such preciousness. It's a place to live, and it is an asset, and it can be turned into money. So just think about that, is I guess what I would say.
That's a good point. And also, when we are talking about real estate in California passing from one generation to the next, we have to consider Prop 19. How does that factor in here?
Yeah, Prop 19, that is a very good point. So when Kenneth died, this was his primary residence. So under Prop 19, he could have passed his primary residence to a child or stepchild, and the property taxes would not go up as long as that child made the home their personal residence. So he could have passed the home to Sandra, who was already living there, and she's his stepchild, and the property taxes would have gone up. The report that I saw is that the assessed value before Kenneth died was about $143,000, and the assessed value was going to be over $1 million more than that after Kenneth died. So you can only, under Prop 19, protect $1 million of your low property tax basis, but it would have kept the property taxes quite a bit lower. However, in this case, because of that lease, what the beneficiaries are getting would not entitle them to the Prop 19 protection of the property tax basis. So the property taxes, when Kenneth died, went up to fair market value, whatever that would be. It's, I think it's going to be in the $20,000 range per year based on what the property is worth. That's not a good outcome. Even if Sandra and Cheryl stay in the house, they're going to have to pay those taxes. That's a lot of money. That's a big difference. Kenneth was probably paying $2,000 a year or some, really ridiculously low number. So what I'm saying is he could have left the property just to Sandra. The property taxes would have stayed relatively low. Sandra would have had a place to live. She could have allowed Cheryl to live there too, if she wanted to. And then she could have even, on her death, passed the house on to Cheryl. And again, parent to child transfer, that's okay under Prop 19. So possibly, if really what he was concerned most about was making sure those two had a place to live, he should have left the home to Sandra and kept the taxes low. And then that would have more or less guaranteed that Cheryl would inherit it after Sandra's death.
Of course, this would mean that Cedric, Kenneth's son, got nothing. And that might have been an unattractive option for Kenneth.
Yeah, that is a problem. When we are trying to preserve a particular asset, it makes it complicated, and it's really hard to get everything that you want. Sometimes estate planning is about making choices, and they're not always great. You don't always get everything that you want.
Well, there are a lot of lessons here, but the one that really stands out and perhaps covers it is when circumstances change, you need to talk to your attorney and your plan might change.
That's right. When Kenneth started spending down all his assets, it completely changed how this was all going to work, and it would have been a good idea to talk to his attorney and see what changes should be made. So good job, Jessica, for pulling that very important lesson out of this conversation.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcounsel.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.